Today I want to walk you through the 7 healthiest foods you should eat every day, plus 3 bonus foods that round out your whole diet. Most junk foods spike your insulin, and that spike, known as insulin resistance, sits at the root of roughly 80% of chronic disease we see across the population. Foods that lower insulin help you, while foods that raise it tend to hurt you. Keep that idea in your head as we move through this list, because nearly every food here shares one common trait, keeping insulin low and steady all day long. I don't know of any other foods on this planet that come close to matching these 10 in terms of pure nutritional density and real benefit. So let's dive straight into number 1 and work our way down the list together. Number 1 on the list is sauerkraut, but you need the raw kind, not the pasteurized jars sitting on a store shelf near the pickles. Heating sauerkraut kills off the microbes that make it powerful in the first place, which defeats the whole purpose of eating it. Sauerkraut is one of the strongest probiotics you can eat, stronger than yogurt, kefir, and most bottled probiotics sold at a pharmacy. A single cup of this fermented cabbage contains only about 1.9 net carbs, so it's loaded with fiber and dense nutrition without much carb baggage weighing it down. Sauerkraut also happens to be the most vitamin C dense food you'll find anywhere on Earth today. One tiny cup delivers over 700 milligrams, which works out to roughly 10 times the recommended daily amount from just one small serving alone. It's gentle on digestion too, which surprises a lot of people who assume fermented foods are harsh on the stomach. People dealing with ulcers or gastritis usually tolerate sauerkraut just fine because it's easy to break down. On top of that, sauerkraut is packed with glutamine, a compound that genuinely helps heal an inflamed gut lining whenever things get irritated inside your digestive tract from stress or poor food choices. It also carries a healthy dose of vitamin K2, and here's exactly why that matters so much for your long-term health and bone strength. Vitamin K2 pulls calcium out of soft tissue, including your arteries and your joints, and redirects it toward your bones where it belongs. Somehow the microbes living inside sauerkraut produce this vitamin themselves, which is a strange little detail most people never learn about. Sauerkraut is loaded with beneficial plant compounds too, including sulforaphane, the same compound people usually associate with broccoli sprouts instead of fermented cabbage. That compound has been studied for genuine anti-cancer effects, and it can also help push back an infection called H. pylori, which frequently sits behind stomach ulcers that just won't heal on their own no matter what treatment you try first overall. But the real star ingredient inside sauerkraut is something called vitamin U, technically known by its scientific name methylmethionine, which sounds far more complicated than it is. This specific nutrient goes to work directly healing ulcers, calming inflammation throughout the stomach lining, and thickening the protective mucus layer wherever damage exists anywhere along your digestive tract. Just half a cup a day is enough to cover your daily needs. Moving on to number 2, we have arugula, a leafy green that's low in oxalates compared to most other salad options you might choose instead. That means it won't aggravate your joints or contribute much toward painful kidney stones the way certain other greens tend to do in repeated use. The bigger reason to eat arugula regularly, though, comes down to what it does for your arteries and overall circulation. Out of every single food on the entire planet, arugula produces the highest amount of nitric oxide, and that compound matters far more than most people ever realize for whole body health and daily function. Nitric oxide relaxes your arteries, keeps blood pressure from climbing dangerously high, and shields your blood vessels from ongoing inflammation that builds up silently over years without any obvious warning signs at all. This benefit isn't limited only to circulation around your heart either, since it affects blood flow through your entire body from head to toe evenly. That's exactly why arugula supports healthy blood pressure readings and even helps improve erectile function in men over time naturally. On top of all that, arugula carries genuine anti-cancer properties simply because it belongs to the cruciferous vegetable family, just like broccoli and cabbage. Personally, I drown my arugula in extra virgin olive oil and sprinkle nutritional yeast generously over the top before eating it. It gives the whole salad a cheesy flavor, while quietly adding B vitamins and amino acids at the exact same time without much extra effort involved. Those B vitamins also help keep stress levels lower, so it's a small habit pulling genuine double duty for taste and health. Number 3 on our list is wild-caught salmon, and wild-caught is essentially the seafood equivalent of organic produce you'd find at a good farmer's market. Farm-raised fish often involves antibiotics, added dyes meant to fake that appealing pink color, and other questionable additives you probably don't want anywhere near your dinner plate on a regular weekly basis at all, overall for good. Just 3 ounces of wild salmon delivers about 2,000 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids, split mainly between DHA, which builds your brain and eyes, and EPA, a powerful natural anti-inflammatory compound your body genuinely needs every single day to function properly and heal itself. Compare that number to cod, which only offers about 171 milligrams of omega-3 in that exact same 3-ounce serving size, a huge difference. Some people worry about mercury exposure when eating fish regularly, but salmon carries selenium, which binds directly to mercury and helps your body clear it out safely over time without lingering damage. I always eat the skin too, since it holds extra omega-3 fatty acids and collagen right underneath the surface, where most nutrients tend to concentrate naturally. Try eating fatty fish like this a couple times weekly if possible. Now let's talk about cod liver specifically, which is entirely different from regular cod fillets you'd normally buy at the fish counter. You can find it canned online through most major retailers, though ordinary grocery stores rarely stock it on their shelves anymore for whatever reason. Cod liver actually beats salmon in overall omega-3 content, and that distinction matters right now more than ever given our modern seed oil-heavy diet. Omega-3 fatty acids compete directly against the flood of omega-6 fats most people consume from seed oils, which now make up roughly a third of the average American diet without most people even realizing it fully. I know plenty of people avoid organ meats like liver because the taste turns them off completely, and honestly, I feel the exact same reluctant way about regular beef liver myself. But cod liver has a surprisingly pudding-like texture that I actually enjoy eating on a fairly regular basis. It comes packed in its own natural oil, and while I wouldn't recommend drinking that oil straight since it can feel heavy on your gallbladder afterward, eating the liver itself alongside a leaner fish gives you both fiber and healthy fat, 2 things that genuinely keep insulin levels from spiking upward. I actually tested this claim myself a few years back after making an untested assumption of my own. I assumed the canning process destroyed omega-3s through heat exposure, so I made a video saying exactly that without ever running a real test to confirm it. Later I felt uneasy, so I bought canned tuna, cod liver and sardines and sent samples to a lab, and the results proved me wrong. Number 5 might genuinely surprise you here: hamburger. I'm not talking about fast food burgers made from mystery meat blended together from hundreds of different unknown sources scattered across multiple countries and suppliers. I mean grass-fed hamburger specifically, ideally organic if you can find it locally at your market, with a slightly higher fat content like an 80-20 blend rather than the leanest option available on the shelf. Lean meat by itself actually raises insulin more than meat paired naturally with its own fat content does over time and repeated meals. The exact same principle applies directly to eggs as well, interestingly enough for most people. Eating just the egg whites without the yolk spikes insulin considerably higher than eating the whole egg together as nature originally intended it to be consumed in the first place. Whey protein powder, being almost pure protein with essentially zero fat content remaining, sits at the very top of the insulin scale among all common protein sources available today on the market. Pairing protein with its natural fat slows down digestion, improves amino acid absorption significantly over time, and keeps everything moving through your system at a steadier, more natural pace, rather than rushing through your body too quickly. I eat hamburger fairly often myself, always without the bun, and it genuinely makes me feel good afterward every single time I have it. Claims that red meat causes cancer or diabetes simply don't hold up well under honest scientific scrutiny once you actually dig into the available research yourself. I've personally improved my own health tremendously by eating grass-fed red meat on a regular weekly basis for years. Hamburger delivers essential B vitamins, zinc, iron and copper, along with carnosine, an antioxidant tied to slower aging, plus roughly 350 milligrams of creatine per 100 grams, supporting muscle growth naturally. The iron in hamburger is also far more bioavailable than plant sources like spinach, since your body absorbs and uses meat-based iron more efficiently than iron pulled from vegetables, regardless of how much spinach you eat. Number 6 on our list is Brazil nuts, though moderation matters here more than with most other foods on this list. 1 or 2 nuts per day is plenty for most people to get real, lasting benefit from them. Brazil nuts contain more selenium than any other food found anywhere on the planet, and selenium plays a far bigger role in overall health than most people realize. It helps convert T4 into T3, the active thyroid hormone your body actually uses for energy production and metabolism regulation daily. Modern soil often lacks enough selenium to properly supply this mineral through food alone anymore, thanks to decades of industrial farming practices that gradually strip nutrients from the ground. If your thyroid struggles constantly, selenium deficiency is often the hidden cause rather than a simple lack of iodine. But the bigger story here actually involves your entire immune system function and long-term resilience. T helper cells, which act like command central for your whole immune response, simply cannot function properly without adequate selenium present in your bloodstream at all times. Without that command structure working correctly, your body genuinely struggles to fight off pathogens, viruses, and abnormal cell growth the way it's naturally designed to handle them. There's a documented link between selenium deficiency and increased vulnerability to serious immune conditions like AIDS, along with real data showing selenium supplementation improving related complications significantly over time. Autoimmune conditions such as Hashimoto's, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, and MS often trace directly back to either selenium or vitamin D deficiency, frequently both together, since these two nutrients tend to work as a team inside your body. Selenium also supports healthy testosterone levels in both men and women alike, since testosterone naturally converts into estrogen inside female bodies over time. It protects ovarian and testicular function, supports fertility in both sexes equally, and even helps prevent unwanted hair loss, including autoimmune-related hair loss conditions like alopecia that frustrate so many people daily. Remember that too much selenium becomes toxic, so stick to just 1 or 2 nuts. Extra virgin olive oil rounds out our core 7 foods on this important daily list. It helps your body pull valuable phytonutrients out of leafy greens like arugula far more efficiently than eating them completely alone. You'll know it's authentic when you feel a slight peppery bite in the back of your throat while tasting it, unlike bland, watered-down versions sold cheaply at most grocery stores nationwide these days. Cheap grocery store olive oil is often diluted with cheaper oils or outright fake, so finding a genuine brand imported from Spain or Italy makes a real difference in quality and health benefits received. Olive oil supports your heart, fights chronic inflammation, delivers phytonutrients roughly 20 times stronger than green tea, fuels the mitochondria inside every cell, and works as a natural anti-clotting agent that protects against blood clots. Now let's move into the bonus foods, starting with quality cheese rather than cheap processed slices from a package. I mean full-fat, raw, properly aged cheese made using traditional methods passed down carefully for generations in certain regions. Cheese is fermented, so it carries beneficial microbes that support gut health, along with vitamin K2, which I already mentioned earlier works like a powerful anti-aging compound throughout your entire body. Cheese also contains CLA, a compound genuinely linked to fat burning and healthy metabolic support over time. Plus butyric acid, which directly feeds the cells lining your colon for better digestive health overall and function. Because fermentation consumes most of the lactose naturally during processing, quality cheese ends up naturally low in carbs, while still delivering genuinely high-quality protein your muscles can actually put to good use. Most of what I personally eat gets imported from other countries, with older, more traditional cheese-making traditions passed down over centuries. Though a handful of American producers are finally doing traditional cheese-making the right way too these days, which is encouraging progress to see. Next up is dark chocolate, and I don't mean the sugary candy bar kind sold near checkout lines at every grocery store. I'm talking specifically about 85% dark chocolate, or plain cacao powder, mixed into something else you're already eating or drinking daily. It's loaded with beneficial polyphenols that boost nitric oxide production the exact same way arugula does earlier in this very list. This supports healthy circulation throughout your entire body, while also satisfying a sweet craving without derailing your blood sugar levels dramatically or suddenly. Some people avoid dark chocolate over oxalate concerns tied to kidney stones, but chocolate also contains magnesium, which binds to oxalates and helps neutralize their effects before they cause problems. Magnesium supports muscle function, lowers cortisol, improves sleep, and helps your mitochondria produce more usable energy. With only about 6 net carbs per serving, dark chocolate fits easily into most eating patterns without much disruption at all. Those microbes send signals up through your body to your brain, requesting more chocolate specifically and persistently throughout the day. This explains why the craving feels so oddly specific and stubborn sometimes late at night when you least expect it. I personally eat mine earlier in the day, usually right around lunch, since chocolate contains mild natural stimulants that can interfere with quality sleep if eaten too close to bedtime. The final bonus food on our list is reuteri yogurt, a homemade fermented yogurt using a specific probiotic strain that's largely disappeared from the general population over recent decades entirely. This is especially true among people who were never breastfed as infants or who've taken frequent rounds of antibiotics throughout their lives, wiping out beneficial bacteria along the way completely without them even realizing it was happening. This particular microbe genuinely supports muscle mass development, improves sleep quality noticeably over just a short time, and triggers your body to naturally produce more oxytocin, the hormone directly responsible for lowering stress levels and building deeper social connection with people around you daily. Making it at home requires a dedicated yogurt maker, though Bulgarian yogurt works as a reasonable substitute if you'd rather skip the extra equipment entirely. When I first started eating this yogurt myself, my wife noticed a genuine change in my behavior within about one single week's time. She jokingly asked why I suddenly wanted to hug her throughout the day, when I never used to be that outwardly affectionate before starting this new daily habit of mine. That reaction comes directly from the microbe signaling through your vagus nerve straight up to your brain. It doesn't hand you oxytocin directly the way a supplement pill would work instantly. Instead, it triggers your own body to manufacture more of it naturally on its own accord, which is a fascinating mechanism once you stop and really think it through carefully. This yogurt also helps people dealing with small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, since misplaced microbes in the small intestine often cause uncomfortable bloating after most meals. Half a cup is all you need to notice a genuine, lasting difference in how you feel. Most people eat the complete opposite of everything covered on this list, filling their plates instead with refined, heavily processed foods lacking any real nutrition whatsoever. I want you to commit to eating these specific foods for just 7 full days and see how your body responds to the change. Drop a comment saying you'll start tomorrow morning, because proper preparation genuinely matters before making any dietary change like this one in your life. Then come back in a full week and tell me honestly how you feel after making the complete switch to these 10 powerful foods together. Before you go, I've put together my entire daily reset routine in a simple 1-page document you can freely download today. I'm 60 years old as I record this video for you, yet I feel closer to 18 most days than someone my actual age would feel. I'm healthier now than I even was back in my 30s, by what feels like a factor of 10 times over. Once you've grabbed that free document, go check out my other video showing how to make that reuteri yogurt.